negara, sang penyelamat dunia. Hadimu bagai sinar saat kami berserah.
Kami yakinkan semua, walaupun gentar.
Dulu tidak dipandang, kini kau disanjungkan. Oh, oh. Terima kasih kepadamu, oh perwira. Segala perjuanganmu buat kami kembali tersenyum.
Terima kasih in keeping us safe and making a better day. For all that you do, we care for you. We can make it true, and it's true. Ooh, thank you.
Rela untuk berkorban, yang tercinta kau tinggalkan. Esok kan pasti tiba, hapus semua yang ada.
Walau 1000 kali tak cukup ku rasai, kan selalu ku doa bersyukur segalanya. Oh, oh.
Terima kasih kepadamu, oh perwira. Segala perjuanganmu buat kami kembali tersenyum.
Terima kasih in keeping us safe and making a better day. For all that you do, we care for you. We can make it true, and it's true. Ooh, terima kasih kepadamu, oh perwira segala perjuanganmu buat kami kembali tersenyum. Terima kasih.
Lagu ini untuk barisan hadapan. This is for you, this is for you. Kaulah perwira yang layak disanjungkan. Yeah. Sentiasa berkorban, sentiasa berkhidmat. Word up. Keranamu kami bebas dan selamat. Terima kasih.
This one goes out to all the frontliners for all the sacrifices, the act of kindness, protecting us from the virus. Let us express our gratitude. Modern day heroes are Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, Asia, Europe, and the rest of the world. Thank you for being brave, keeping us safe. Jabatan Pendidikan, you will always be in our hearts.
Thank you.
Thank you, frontliners. Thank you, frontliners. Thank you, frontliners.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Boleh dengar suara saya? Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. Okay, salam sejahtera Dan sekali lagi selamat menyambut tahun baru 2022. Okey, terima kasih pada anda yang sedang menonton channel YouTube MNC College Terengganu. Okey, ucapkan tahniah pada diri sendiri sebab pada hari ketiga pada tahun baru ni masih lagi bersemangat dan semoga kekal fokus sehingga ke kertas peperiksaan SPM yang terakhir nanti ya. Okey, apa khabar semua adik-adik calon SPM 2021 dan ada juga pelajar-pelajar dari tingkatan 4. Okey, hari ini bersama saya sekali lagi Puan binti Safian, merupakan pensyarah Sains Kesihatan di Management and Science University dan merangkap penyelaras bagi program MSU Bahasa Inggeris. Okey. Dan untuk pengetahuan penonton-penonton yang baru mengikuti program SMART pada hari ini, program ini adalah anjuran Management and Science University dengan kerjasama Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Terengganu. Okey, jadi pada Sabtu yang lepas kita telah bersama-sama mendapat perkongsian bagi subjek sains, okey, dari guru Akram Terengganu. Dan mungkin ada pelajar-pelajar yang daftar lambat kan, isi link register lambat, jadi belum terima pautan ataupun link untuk subjek sains, boleh hubungi saya kemudian ya, boleh PM tepi. Okey. Jadi suka untuk saya kongsikan dengan adik-adik tingkatan 4 dan tingkatan 5 pada hari ini yang sedang menonton channel YouTube MSU College Terengganu hari ini. Okey, MSU ni ataupun nama penuh dia Management and Science University merupakan sebuah institusi pengajian tinggi yang berpusat di Shah Alam dan mempunyai cawangan boleh dikatakan di setiap negeri lah, dari Penang kita ada, di Ipoh, di Kedah, di Seremban, di Johor, di Kota Baru, di Sabah Sarawak pun ada. Malah MSU juga mempunyai kampus offshore, okey, kampus di luar negara. Yang paling top dan hot adalah kampus kita di Bangalore lah, di Bangalore, India, untuk pelajar-pelajar yang mengikuti kursus ataupun program perubatan. Jadi bagi adik-adik yang nak merasai peluang belajar, okey, peluang pembelajaran di luar negara, boleh sama-sama MSU sebenarnya mengalu-alukan lah, mengalu-alukan adik-adik pelajar yang nak ada experience belajar di overseas ni, sebab di MSU kita ada lebih kurang 40 lebih universiti partner di luar negara melalui program yang kita sebut sebagai GMP, Global Mobility Program. Jadi antara langkah persediaan yang saya kira agak penting lah untuk study di overseas ni, salah satunya adalah memastikan keputusan subjek bahasa Inggeris kita baik kan. Dan saya difahamkan panel ataupun guru facilitator kita pada hari ini pun adalah graduan dari overseas. Jadi ambil peluang ini untuk mendapatkan pelbagai tips yang bermanfaat lah untuk adik-adik pelajar gunakan semasa menduduki peperiksaan kertas bahasa Inggeris nanti. Okey. Jadi saya rasa saya boleh persilakan guru panel kita, guru facilitator kita, iaitu cikgu teacher Siti Atiqah binti Omar Baki. Okey, dipersilakan. Mana teacher kita? Okey, itu dia. Okey, hi teacher Atiqah.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good morning,
Salam.
everyone.
Okay, good morning. Okay, teacher, Teacher Atiqah adalah merupakan guru di SMK Bukit Mentok Terengganu, Kemaman Terengganu. Okay, dan telah berkhidmat di SMK Bukit Mentok lebih kurang 4 tahun ya, teacher?
Ya,
Betul.
dah nak masuk
Ah,
4 tahun.
dalam masa 4 tahun. Okey. So tanpa melengahkan masa, saya serahkan slot kita pada hari ini selama 2 jam bersama dengan Teacher Atiqah. Okey.
Okay, thank you Puan Raihana. So, Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you to MSU for inviting me today for this sharing session. And I would like to say thank you to all students and teachers who are with us this morning. Okay, I know in Terengganu it's still raining, so I hope everyone is safe. Okay, and for those who is outside of Terengganu, Assalamualaikum and good morning also. Thank you for being with us today. Okay, so I will just start with my sharing session. Okay, I'm going to share the slides now. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to look at. Okay, I'm going to um, look at paper 2, which is our reading paper. Okay, and I will put more focus on part 3. Okay, the most challenging part. Okay, the part that the students think it is hard for them to get marks here. Okay, and the writing task that I will focus will be on review. All right. Okay. So yes, this is just what we're going to have in part 3, and I believe everyone knows this already. Okay, you have seen this in your mid-year exam or in your trial exam before this. So basically for part 3, this is actually the extended writing task, and it is between 200 to 250 words. So it's not that short and it's not that long actually. Okay, and for part 3, you will have 3 questions and you have to choose one. So for the 3 questions, they will be between these 4 writing tasks. Okay, it can be an article, it can be a report, and then we have review and also a story. So I believe, for example, in Terengganu, we have a review in our trial exam, and I believe most of the states also have review because this is what we're going to focus today. Okay. Right. Next one. Okay, this is the things that I believe you guys know already. Okay. We are going to look at how you're going to score good marks. Okay, for content, for your CA. CA is your communicative achievement. Okay, and then for your organization, and then for your language. So there are 4 assessment criteria. Okay, and you will be assessed with these 4 assessment criteria. So basically we're going to look at we're going to look at review today. I'm so sorry. So these are the things that you need to know if you want to score good marks when you write a review. Okay, so if you want to screenshot this point, no problem. Okay, those who have any comments or any question, you can just write it in the comment section. Inshallah, I will try my best to respond to any question or things that you want to ask. Okay, so I'll just move on to this part. Okay, so these are the assessment criteria. Okay, and I took this from module Intervensi Pembelajaran Bahasa Inggeris by JPN Terengganu. So those who are from Terengganu, okay, I believe you have seen this module. Okay, and when you see this module, okay, the panels, they have prepared for you how are you going to score for all assessment criteria here. So I just took the simple one. Okay, yang lain, yang all the description semua is inside the module, so you can look at the module. Okay, so basically, of course, you know this already. You're going to get 20 marks for part 3. Okay, so 5 marks for content, 5 marks for communicative achievement, 5 marks for organization, and then 5 marks for language. Okay, so basically, if we look at content, you know this already. If you want to score 5 marks, you have to answer all the tasks. Okay, and I think to get 5 marks for content is actually Very easy. As long as you understand the task, you faham task tu and you answer everything. Meaning you include all the information needed for the task. So tak ada tinggal satu pun. You don't leave any information behind. Okay, so then you can get content 5. Okay, whereas for communicative achievement, okay, if you see here, okay, the slide is a bit blur. Okay, I'm so sorry. Maybe because the line, okay. Alright, so for the communicative achievement, okay, it will look at your writing style, whether it is suitable or not for the task. So for part 3, okay, there are 4 types of writing tasks, kan? An article, report, review, and also a story. So to get good marks for communicative achievement, you have to make sure that you use the correct writing style, the appropriate writing style for that writing task. So if you want to write a report, okay, there is certain ways to write a report. Okay, if you want to write an article, so it's a bit different compared to report. So you need to make sure you know, okay, how to write the sentences, okay, the phrases used. All right. And next one, you have to make sure that, okay, kalau nak achieve 5 for communicative achievement, okay, you need to make sure that, okay, the readers can understand your information and they are fully informed. Fully informed means kalau dalam bahasa Melayu maksudnya memang dia orang faham dengan kita punya isi and they understand what we are trying to say. So basically, okay, if for example you are lack of information, it might affect your communicative achievement. So be careful. Okay, now organization, of course, we know it comes from the word organize. Your writing must be well organized. Okay, your writing must be well organized, meaning that you write the essay in paragraphs. That is one. Okay, and then you need to use appropriate cohesive devices. So one of the cohesive devices is like for example sentence connectors and conjunctions. I will show you later on examples of cohesive devices. Okay, right. So that will help you to get good marks for organization. And lastly, for language, I believe this, you know, that you need to use a good vocabulary. Okay, not just basic vocabulary. So kalau basic vocabulary means the words that you use every day. Yang perkataan yang awak selalu guna hari-hari. But for part 3, okay, there will be a bit more where you have to use less common lexis or we call as less common vocabulary. Maksudnya vocabulary yang kita jarang guna dalam everyday conversation. Meaning that because for part 3, they will focus on certain topics. So there are some words yang kita memang guna that we really use for that topic only. So that is what I mean by less common lexis. Okay, and of course it will look at your grammar. Okay, of course it will look at your spelling. So if you have errors, okay, in your vocabulary and also your grammar and your spelling, it will affect your language. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the marking criteria too long here, okay, because I just want to move to our main focus for today, which will be the review. Okay, so what is a review? Okay, now a review is actually a critical appraisal of something you have experienced. So a critical appraisal here, okay, means you assess the thing that you use or the thing that you buy or the thing that you the place that you go. Okay, you assess, you analyze it. All right, and the information that you include in your review will be based on your experience. So you give information, you give opinion. Meaning you buy something, for example, and you experience using it. Okay, you use it, and then based on your experience of using it, okay, you give your opinion, you give information, so that the reader will know the good things or maybe the negative things about the thing that you buy. Okay, and then you can also use the review to persuade or convince reader. To persuade ni means you nak pujuk orang tu beli. Okay, ataupun convince means meyakinkan kan. Okay, you want to convince people to go to that place. Okay, so that is the purpose of a review. Okay, now I believe some of you here, you are very good in review writing, okay, and you can score very well. But I believe some of you also have a confusion where sometimes your review does not really sound like a review. Okay, what do I mean by that? Review tak bunyi macam review. Okay, but before that, okay, let's see on the things that we can review actually. So basically, when you look at reference book or if you look at your exam papers, you can see the common ones like movie review, maybe a book review, okay, restaurant review, maybe hotel or holiday destination, kan? Okay, basically there are so many other things that we can review. Okay, we can also write a review on drama. Okay, if you love to watch drama, so you can write a review on drama. Maybe you can write a review on songs, musical, or maybe technology. Okay, or you can write a review about theme park and also everyday item. So these things, okay, this is not just for your exam. This is actually reviews are actually written in real life also. For example, you buy things from Shopee. Okay, before you buy things from Shopee, you will look at the reviews first. We will look at the reviews to make sure that okay, the thing is okay, it is functioning. Okay, and we hope to see good reviews. Correct? Okay, but what happened if we look at the reviews and the reviews are not um well written? I mean, the reviews are poorly written, meaning that they just give stars or they just give, unnecessary information about the things, or maybe information that are not even related to the things. So we are going to be very disappointed and we think that we are not convinced. Okay, so that is why review is very important here. Okay. Okay. Next one. Now, you need to ask these important questions when you want to write a review. Okay. So one, how informative should it be? Okay. What kind of information should you include? Okay. Is it just enough with your experience only? Cukup ke dengan pengalaman kita sahaja? Or do you need to include your opinions? Do you need to relate to the other readers? Okay. And then the second question is you need to look at how authentic should it be. Okay, authentic here means real. How realistic is your review? Okay, meaning that in your review you can also be negative. Because okay, for example, when we go to a place, kita pergi satu tempat, okay, there are things that we like about the place and there are things that we dislike about the place. Right. So when we want to give recommendation, okay, kita nak bagi suggestion, kita nak bagi saranan ataupun kita nak pujuk orang pergi kat tempat tu kan. Okay, we want to give recommendation to our friends. We will not just talk about the positive sides. We are going to talk about the negative sides. So meaning if your review, for example, this is just an example, in your review you have the negative things that can be improved. Okay, that shows that your review is real, is authentic. Okay, right. And last one, you have to ask yourself, will your review help the other readers? Now, I want you to change your mindset a bit. Okay, don't just write the review for the sake of exam. I know because this is for your SPM, of course, you are afraid of the examiner, for example. Okay, you want to write the best review ever so that you can get good marks for part 3. Okay, but remember, you also have to think that maybe the examiner will be one of the readers who want to buy the thing or who wants to watch the movie, who wants to go to the hotel or to any place that you are reviewing. So bayangkan examiner tu adalah pembaca juga. So that is why it needs to be authentic and informative. Okay. Right. Now, if you have any question, you can just ask in the comment section. Okay. Next one. Okay. Remember this, review is not a story. Okay, I have a few of my friends, okay, and then I have some students who are a bit confused of how to write a review. And I believe maybe some of you here have this confusion also. Okay, what I mean by story here is you just tell about your experience only. Okay, you just say, I went to the hotel and I did these activities with my family. It was great. Okay, the facilities are good. Okay, and then uh, believe me, the experience will not really help the readers because things that are good for you might not be good for others. Things that are bad for you might not be as that for the others. Okay, so meaning that it's not just about your experience, bukan sahaja pengalaman kita guna benda tu ataupun pergi tempat tu. Okay, you need to actually make sure you have enough information so that the readers will have a real impression of the product, place, service or movie. Okay, meaning that you give enough information, you give opinion, you try to relate with the readers. Okay, I will show you this later. Tisha akan tunjuk macam mana kita nak relate dengan readers lain. Okay, and then we need to make sure that the information that we use in the review will be useful for the readers to decide whether it is relevant for them or not. Okay, for example, when you write a review and you say you dislike about something, okay, the readers will look at the information and think whether, okay, I think I like this, so I can try. That is why I say benda yang teruk untuk orang lain does not mean it is bad for them. So maybe things that you dislike, they like it, so they want to try it. Okay, so you need to make sure that the information is enough for the readers. Okay, later on teacher akan pergi dekat bahagian information. Okay, right. Now, we are going to look at some questions, and when we look at the question, I would like you to analyze the questions and try to identify the task. Okay, right. So I have 3 questions here. Okay, the first one is this one. Okay, this one, I think this is a very common question. Okay, you can see this in your exam, in any exercise book, in any YouTube video sharing session ke apa ke kan. Okay, you can see this kind of question. Okay, so look at the question and try to identify how many tasks do we have here. Okay, and you can comment the answer in the comment section. How many tasks do we have here? Okay. Okay, the question is, have you seen any good movies recently? Email us your movie review. Tell us what you like about the movie. Would you recommend the movie to your friends? Why? Okay, so there are many questions in one question, kan? Okay, so now I want you to comment. Okay, I want you to answer how many tasks do we have here? 4 tasks. Okay, Danny says 4 tasks. Okay, the others? What about the others? How many tasks do we have here? So 4 tasks. Is there anyone? Okay, 4, Jeremy 4, Haikal 4. Is a question 4? Okay, right, 4. Okay, good, good. Okay, now let's look here. All right. Now, first of all, for those who do not know what do you have to write, okay, you have to look at the headings. Okay, the headings here sometimes, okay, they will write reviews needed. So you know already, okay, I have to write a review, but what type of review that you have to write? Okay, so you go back to the questions. Okay, read again. Okay, now if you look at the first part, okay, email us your movie review. So you know immediately this is your first task. Your main task is to write a movie review. So this is the task, the first task. Okay. Next one. Read again the question from the beginning. Okay. Have you seen any good movies recently? So this is a question. Okay. Meaning that you have to answer this task in your essay. Okay. Do you have have you seen any good movies? So here they tak mention, okay, it does not mention the title of the movie or what type of a movie. It just say that good movies, meaning that whatever movie that you think is good for you, okay, you can use the movie for your review. Okay, so meaning that you have to mention about the movie. Okay, you have to mention the name of the movie. Okay, and then next one, tell us what you like about the movie. So basically, you have to elaborate on the parts you like. Okay, on the parts you like about the movie. Okay, and would you recommend the movie to your friend? This is another task. Okay, would you recommend? Awak akan sarankan tak kawan awak tengok? Okay, and you have to explain why. Meaning you have to give reason. So this is another task. So how many tasks altogether? One, you have to mention what is the movie. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 tasks altogether. The main task is the movie review. And the other things here will be the prompts. Prompts ni, in another word, is like clues lah. These are the clues that you can use to actually write your review. So first you have to describe the movie that you think is good, and then you elaborate on the parts that you like. Okay, what do you like? You like the characters, you like the actors, for example, you like the action scenes, for example. So those are the things that you like. Okay, and then you have to say whether you recommend or not. You can be positive. You can say, okay, I would recommend this. But you can also be negative. You can say that I would not recommend this to my friends, but you still have to mention why. You have to give reason. Okay, so this is the first task. Okay, thank you for those who answered the question. Okay, thank you. Right, so altogether we have 5 tasks here. The main task will be the movie review, and then these are the prompts. Okay, next one, book reviews needed. Okay, this one is clearer compared to the first one. Okay, if you look at the headings, you know that you have to write a book review. Okay, now look at this question. Okay, and tell me how many tasks do we have here? Is it the same as the previous one, or is it a bit different? Okay, so I will read the question first, and while I'm reading the question, try to identify how many tasks do we have here. Okay, and write your answer in the comment section. Okay, have you read an interesting book recently? Send us your review on that book. Tell us what you like and dislike about the book. Would you recommend the book to your friends, and why? Okay, here we can say 5, 4, 5. Okay, Camelia Afika says 6. 6. Okay, Jeremy 6. Okay, now let's look. Okay, I don't have the analysis of this question, but let's look at the questions together. Okay, so have you read an interesting book recently? Oh, sorry, book reviews. Okay, this is the main task. You know already you have to write a review on the book of a book. Okay, okay, you have the first one. You need to mention what is the name of the book. Okay, that what is the book? What is the name of the book that you think is interesting for you? Yang menarik untuk awak lah buku yang awak pernah baca. Okay, that is one. Okay, next one. Tell us what you like. Okay, what you like. Okay, and another one, what you dislike. Apa yang awak suka and apa yang awak tak suka about the book. Okay, so there one. This is number 1. Okay, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay, and next, recommend. Would you make recommendation? Okay, 5, and last one, reason, 6. So it's 5 or 6. Okay, so I would say this. You have 6 tasks here. Ada 6 benda yang awak kena buat dekat sini. Alright. Okay, good, good. Thank you so much. Yes, very good. Okay. Next. Okay. Last one. Of those who are from Terengganu, I think this question, you are familiar with this question. Okay. So this is another type of review. All right. Okay. Look at the question again. Okay. This is a bit different. Okay. And then try to see how many tasks do we have here. How many tasks do we have here? Okay. Reviews needed. Have you ordered food online from a cafe recently? Could you write us a review of the cafe? Tell us what you like or dislike about the cafe and whether you would recommend it. Okay. While you guys are looking at the task, okay, usah juga. Okay, I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Would you recommend and why was count as one, isn't it? Okay. Yes, you can count it as one, but sometimes a few students will forget to give the reason. So that is very dangerous because you have to give reason because the question asks why. Okay, so I would say it will be safer for you to consider it as two different tasks so that you will be on track and you don't forget uh, to give reason for your recommendation. Okay, okay. So now, okay, five tasks, six. Okay, so let's look at the analysis of this question. Okay. So here, okay, sorry. This is a typing error, not restaurant, it's a cafe. Okay. So you have to write a review of the cafe. So that is the first one. Right. The first question, have you ordered food online from a cafe recently? So you have to answer this question. Okay, you have to answer this question. You can say you have ordered it or not. You can say yes, you can say no. No problem. Okay. And then you tell us what you like or dislike. Okay, you can consider this as two different tasks if you want to do both. Okay, if you want to do either one pun boleh juga, no problem. Okay, tell us what you like or dislike and then whether you would recommend it. Okay, so basically, even though the question does not ask you to give reasons for your recommendation, okay, it is advisable. Okay, sangat-sangat kita sarankan, okay, for the students to give reason why you recommend or why you do not recommend the cafe. Okay, so don't forget to give reasons. Okay, so these are the tasks. Okay, so thank you. So we have like 1, 2, okay, 3, or maybe you want to separate this 4 and 5. So it's between 4 tasks or 5 tasks. Okay, so these are the questions. These are the tasks. These are the prompts that you need to be very careful of. Okay, so based on these prompts, you know that there are so many things you have to write in the review. It is not just about your experience. So that's why I said review is not a story. If you just tell about your experience, it will become a story. So dia dah jadi lain. It will be different. Okay. So in a review, you need to give your analysis of what you like and or what you dislike, and then whether you would recommend it or not. How many words should we write for reviews? Okay, for part 3, it is between 200 to 250 words. Okay. It means for like or dislike, we need to choose either one. Can it be both? Yes, it can be both. Okay, you can choose to write both or you can choose to write one. Which one? Okay, but if you think you want to write both, then no problem. Okay, all right. Next one. Okay, based on these prompts, again, based on these prompts, we know that there are so many things we have to write in the review. Okay, therefore, I have listed out some important, the important elements of a review. Okay, there are 4. The first one will be the general information or background of the things that you are reviewing. Okay, the general information just to let the readers know what you are actually writing. Okay, and then after that, you move to the analysis of the product or place or movie or services, and you can include your opinions here. Okay, so analysis, okay, what you like, the positive side, the negative side, the strengths, the weaknesses, okay? And then you can also include in your analysis the other elements that affect you or maybe it will affect the readers. Okay, so meaning that you have to be critical here. You have to use your critical thinking skill to write this part. Okay, it's not that hard. I will show you later on. Okay, and last one, you have to make recommendations to the leaders. So now you can see this is not a story. This is a review. Okay. Okay. Next one. All right. So when you know the important elements in review writing, okay, basically before you start writing, you have to make plans. You have to plan your review. You have to plan your writing. Any type of essay, you still have to make plans. So this is one simple plan, okay, uh, for review writing. Okay, now I said just now the first important element, the first important element is the general information or background. So this could be your introduction. Okay. Now look back at the plan. The first one, interesting title to attract readers' interest. Okay, it's not in the important element just now, but here in plan, I mentioned about title. Now, why do you think I put interesting title here? Is title important for a review? Okay, what do you think? Is title important for a review? What is the function? What is the purpose of the title? Tajuk. Apa pentingnya tajuk dekat sini? Okay, then we will go to the other parts of the plan. Why do we need title for review? Okay, while waiting for your answers, okay, I want anyone to just comment in the comment section. Okay, why do you think title is important? Okay, the other parts will be the same as the important elements. All right. First, you have your introduction, meaning that general information lah, say what you are reviewing and try to catch the reader's attention. Okay, so this is just the general information. And then it will go to the description of important information. Okay, this will be your analysis. Okay, this will be the analysis and together with your opinions on the strengths and also weaknesses. Okay, yes, it is important because it shows how interesting is the place or the things that we use. Okay, thank you, Danny. Yes, because it might make readers suspense. Okay, okay, it will create a suspense feelings, kan? Okay, now the title is very important here because if you read a real review, okay, if you read a real review, for example, a real movie review, okay, posted online on any website, for example, like Rotten Tomatoes, okay, they will have the title because the title will actually give the first information for the readers. So when the readers look at your review, okay, they know this review is about what. Okay, you can write the title of the movie there, okay, as the title of the review. So the readers will know. And this is also good for your SPM. It will not bring marks or it will not affect your marks, but it will help the examiner, especially, to understand, okay, your review is about what. So that will help the examiner to mark your essay and maybe it will bring you better marks, kan? Okay. And next, you move to your introduction, you move to the description of important information, and then you give opinions on the strengths or weaknesses and why and how they affect you. For example, you say, okay, I like this, and then you explain why. Okay, and then I dislike this and you explain why. Okay, and last one will be the conclusion, the summary of your review together with your recommendation. So this is a simple plan. Okay, I will show you the detailed one. Kejap lagi teacher tunjuk yang detail. Okay, yes, it will make them curious about the title. Yes, when they look at the title, they will be curious. Okay. Okay, Camelia, it is important because people would know what we write about. Yes, very good. Okay. About the title, shouldn't it have been given to us? Okay. Now, thank you, Danny, for the question. Okay, if you look at the questions, okay, they are not. Okay, I mean, sorry, the question is specific. Okay, they are asking us to write a movie review, okay, or a cafe review and others. Okay, but in your title, you can just write the name of the movie, and then you just write movie review. The name of the review the name of the movie. For example, movie review Avengers Infinity War. Okay, so people will know. Okay, this is a movie review, and the movie is Avengers Infinity War. Okay, that's it. So you can just write movie review, no problem. But people would like to know what is the name of the movie. So you can include the title of the movie in the title of your review. Okay. All right. Yes, it's general. Okay, it's general. It's not specific. You don't have the title of the review there, and the title, it can be anything. All right. It is up to your creativity. Okay. Right. Now, if you look at your textbook, okay, this one I took from your textbook. This is from Form 4 textbook, full blast plus 4. This is on page 93. Okay, this is a plan for a film or a movie review. This is a very detailed plan, and I really like this. So for Form 4 students, okay, use your textbook very well. Okay, the information in there is very good, okay, for you. So you can take pictures, you want to photo state ke apa ke kan, okay. Make sure that you use all the information wisely, okay. And for Form 5, you also have, for review writing in your textbook, it is a review about a place. So you can look at your textbook also for Form 5 students. So this is a review for uh, a movie or a film. Okay, so basically, okay, look at the introduction part. Okay, you give some general information about the film. Okay, you can mention the title of the film. You can mention the type or genre, the director, the leading actors, and they also give you useful phrases here. Okay, these are very useful for you. Okay, for the body part, okay, you can write in 2 paragraphs, or maybe if you want to write in 3 paragraphs, no problem. Okay, you can, for if this is a movie review, you can give a brief summary of the plot. Okay, what happened in the story, but don't give spoilers. Okay, don't give spoilers in your review. Just give a brief summary of the plot, like a synopsis lah. Okay, and then you make comments about what you like or didn't like about the film. So you can talk about anything. You can talk about the plot. You can talk about the actors and their acting. You can talk about the characters. Okay, you can talk about soundtrack, special effects, costume, or the ending, or anything else that you think can be written in your review. Okay. Can teacher zoom in? Okay, sorry, I cannot zoom this. Okay, but you can look at your textbook. Okay. Uh, for Form 5, if you don't have this textbook physically, you can go online and search for your online textbook. Okay. You can look at page 93. Teacher, does it same for review of book? Yes, you can actually use the same plan for book review. It's because it has the same. It has plots, it has character. The differences are, okay. The book does not have director, but it has writer. Okay, and then we don't have actors in books, but you can talk about the characters. Okay, and last one, the conclusion. Okay, you can state your general opinion about the film. That is your opinion. Okay, and then say whether you recommend it or not. Okay, you can put your recommendations here. So these are the useful phrases that you can look at. Yes, thank you, Danny. Yes, you can look for this in your textbook. Okay, if you don't have the physical textbook, you can find it online. Okay, kita ada textbook, online textbook kan. Okay. So this is a plan. So you can look at your textbook. Okay. Now, when we want to start the essay, okay, introduction will be one of the challenging part. Okay, because some students, I believe, they have the ideas, they know what they want to write, but when it comes to the introduction, they get confused and they will stuck there. Okay, they will stuck and they will take a lot of time to think about the introduction, what they want to write. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a few examples of introduction that you can use. Okay, and I use different ways when I write this introduction. Okay, so now remember, introduction should be general and simple. Do not write lengthy introduction. Okay, lengthy means panjang sangat, melirik-lirik, berjela-jela panjangnya. Jangan. Okay, introduction should be brief and short but interesting. Okay, so now I will give you 4 examples of introductions. Okay, then you can see the differences in the writing style. Okay, so the first one will be the book review. Okay, the book review here, I start with the name of the book, The Flying Chef, written by Ramesh Sundram in 2015, tells an inspiring story of Chef Anna who becomes a famous chef despite her humble beginnings. Her journey is full of struggle before she succeeds. So for book review, I just start with the name of the book, okay, the writer's name, and then when was it published, when was it written, and bit a bit a, s- a short summary of the story. Okay, because the plot, the storyline will be written in the next paragraph. Okay, so this one is one example. So you can use this for movie review also, no problem. Okay, now the second one, teacher, please move your camera to the top, please. I need to take a screenshot. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. You mean my I have to ask for the admin to remove my video first because they yes, thank you. Okay. So, teacher, for book review, let's say we don't know any books. Can we just like create the book? Okay, Jeremy. Okay, now about creating a book. Okay. I I think it's okay. For me it's okay, but you need to know um the things that you want to write about the book. So for example, in the exam, suddenly you think you want to write a review of a book, but you don't know what type of book you want to write, and you just create one. I am afraid that you might have difficulties in planning for the ideas. So it might waste your time to plan, to think about the storyline and whatsoever, kan? Okay, so it will be dangerous. But remember, book review is not just about novels. You don't have to review a novel only, not just storybook. You can you can review, for example, encyclopedia, textbook, no problem. Okay, because it does not mention any specific book. So if you think encyclopedia is interesting, then you can write a review on that. Okay. Make sure you make it exist later on. Yes. Okay. Next one, the cafe review. Okay, this is a different style. Okay, if you look at the introduction, you can see how different it is. It can be comic books, right? Yes, it can be comic books also. Okay, because in the question, if it does not mention any type of book, we just mention interesting books, then you can choose any type of books that you want. Okay. The Coffee Buddy, okay, I go back to the cafe review, okay? The Coffee Buddy is one of the famous cafes among the locals in our area for a perfect dining experience. So first, I tell the reader about the Coffee Buddy. Okay, it's a famous cafe. Okay, next, I mentioned about my experience. I went there with my friends last week and it was a wonderful experience for all of us. We love everything about it, starting from the food to its ambience. Okay, so here is a bit different compared to book review. The book review only mentioned about the book, but here in for cafe review, I did mention about my experience a bit, a bit. Okay, I went there last week and we love everything about it. So later on, for the body part, okay, we will talk about the food and its ambience and everything else. Okay. All right, Lisandro, it can be a novel book. Yes, yes, correct. It can be anything, any book that you think is interesting. Okay, but look at the question. Okay, make sure you understand the question. Okay, right. Next one. This is a movie review. So movie review is a bit is more or less the same as book review. Cuma cara teacher tulis lain sikit. Okay. Released globally on 20th November 2021, The Beast Father is an action movie guaranteed to capture the attention of most Asian movie lovers. So, if you look at book review just now, okay, I just mentioned about the book. I do not relate it to the readers. I do not relate to um any novel fans ke, no. I just mentioned about the book. But here in the movie review for introduction, I did relate it to the Asian movie lovers. I say it will capture their attention. Okay, and then I mentioned a bit about the director. It is the second movie directed by the famous James Lee. So this one is a bit different compared to the book review just now. Okay. Next one will be the hotel review. Okay, this one, hotel review ni, this is not just for hotels, okay? Because sometimes the question may not ask about hotel. Maybe it will ask about island resort. Okay, it will use different word, resort, chalet, okay? Or maybe it will just generally say holiday destination. So holiday destination is not just about hotel, kan? It's about the whole place. Okay, so look at the question carefully. Okay, so for hotel review, this is a different style of writing the introduction. Teacher guna lain sikit. Okay, this is from general to specific. Kalau yang ini, this one I straight away mention the name of the movie. But for hotel review here, I did say something about the tourists generally, and then I move to the specific topic. So remember the downside triangle too, from general to specific. Okay. So the first sentence, tourists will always look for an exclusive place to stay with many exciting attractions. So this is general. Okay, general information about the tourists. Okay, then I move to the hotel. Surrounded by peaceful greenery and located near the sea, Redang Beach Resort has always become the perfect choice of accommodation for a great holiday. So this is another way to write your introduction. You can go from general to specific. So make sure that teacher, after this hotel introduction, how are we going to continue for the second paragraph? Okay, if you want to continue this, okay, because we have mentioned about the perfect choice of accommodation, kan? Okay, for the next paragraph, you move to the first idea. For example, what do you like about the resort? What do you like about the hotel? What do you like about the place? Okay, is it because it is peaceful, the atmosphere, the surrounding, or is it because of the attractions near the hotel, near the resort? Okay, you can start planning. Okay, the first idea, I want to talk about the atmosphere of the hotel, the surrounding of the hotel, or maybe you want to talk about the facilities, you want to talk about the attractions. So you plan one by one. Okay, all right. So maybe you can start with the sentence connectors macam, okay, firstly, okay, one of the best things about this hotel is, okay, the atmosphere. It is peaceful and calming. Okay, and then you elaborate more on that. Okay, all right. So these are just the examples of introduction, and I believe most of you can write better introduction. Okay, so these introductions, I just show this for students who feel afraid to start their review because sometimes they have problems with the introduction, kan? Okay, so this is just the introduction. Okay, remember introduction should be short and brief and have a bit of general information. Okay, so next one, after we have finished the introduction, we move to the ideas, to the analysis, to the opinions. Okay, so basically I have four here, four things that we would like to review. For example, a movie, a book, about the cafe, the places. Now, can you give me some responses? What are the things that we can include in our review for movies? Okay, what are the things that we can include in our review for cafes? What are the things that we can include in our review for books? And what are the things that we can include in our review for places? Nanti teacher, I will show you the the ideas later, but I want you to give me the 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 things that we can include in our review. Okay, you can just choose any of these four. Okay, and then write what are the things that we can include. What are the things that we will look at when we want to review a movie, for example? Title, director, actor. Yes, very good, Jeremy. Genre, yes. If for movies you will look at genre, yes, good, very good. Okay, cafe. What do you want to review for a cafe, Daniel? What are the things that you will look at? Okay, if books, okay, characters in the book or movie. Good, very good, Camelia. For cafe, what about cafe or restaurant, for example? What will you look at the cafe or restaurant to be written in your review? The chair. Okay, maybe the furnitures. Yes, the furnitures, the interior design of the restaurant, the place, the environment, good. The drinks, the food, very good. The menu. Okay, pros and cons in the movie. Yes, yes, the pros and cons. Maybe you want to talk about the lessons. You have learned positive lessons or negative lessons. Yes, of course. Okay, the price. Yes, the worker attitude, the services. Good. Okay, what about places? Places like a holiday destination ke, resort ke. Okay, the ambience of the cafe. Yes, good, Alia. Thank you. The service. Yes. Okay, so I think you have the idea already. You know there are many things that you can include in your review, so there should be no problem. Okay, service, environment, yes. Okay, good. Now these are the things that you can actually include in your review. Okay, so for movie, there are things like genre, director or producer, because I think this is also important. Okay, I just give one example lah. I am a fan of scenario, the comedy group. Okay, I think the teachers or maybe any adults around my age, they know who is scenario. Okay, who are scenario. Okay, and then they have a lot of movies, and I've watched all the movies. Okay, and now they are actually filming another movie, and the director is Aziz M. Osman. And I really love Aziz M. Osman's work. And I'm actually very eager and I could not wait to watch the movie. So some people, they 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 want to watch the movie not because of the actors, not because of the franchise ke, the installments ke. No, they want to see the work of the director or maybe the producer. So this could be important. You can look at actors and characters, you can look at settings, you can look at plot. Okay. However, for example, you think I don't want to talk about plot. I don't want to talk about setting. What else can you talk about a movie? You can look at the music or soundtrack. For example, if you want to write a review on animation punya movie, for example, the recent one, the newest one will be Encanto from the Disney. Okay, they have songs, they have soundtracks, and many people really actually love their songs. Okay, so you can talk about the soundtrack also. Okay, you can also talk about the special effects. You can also talk about the costumes. Can we say that who built the place and how was it built? Place review. Sure, you can include that in your is a review also. Okay. All right. For cafe, okay, you can talk about the name of the cafe. Maybe the name of the cafe is actually very interesting. It's different from others. So you want to actually, review on that. You can talk about the location. You can talk about the atmosphere. You can talk about the food served, food and drinks. You can talk about the service, the waiters, maybe the host, or maybe the owner of the cafe or the restaurant. You can talk about price, and you can talk about the cleanliness of the cafe. So this is also important because some people do not like to eat at dirty places, kan? So cleanliness is also important. Okay, so this is for movie and cafe. So what about books and places? So for books, these are the things that you can actually include in your review. Genre, okay, writer, because we don't have uh, director or producer for books, so we have writer. We have characters, setting, plot. So more or less the same. Okay, now we can talk about the price of the book because some books are very expensive. Maybe because of the production, the types of papers. Okay, the cover of the books is different. The size of the book, maybe. Okay, it will affect the price. Okay, so you can talk about the price, whether it's too expensive, whether it's affordable. Okay, and you can also talk about any evaluation of the book. Okay, what I mean by evaluation dekat sini here is, okay, for example, what do you think the readers will like about the book? Okay, maybe the readers love the book because they will love the book because they have pictures, because the book has pictures in it. so the readers can imagine. So you evaluate more about the book. Just now for the someone comment about comic kan, okay, so you can say, okay, this comic book is not just suitable for kids but also for adults. So you evaluate the book. Okay. And for places, it's more or less the same as the cafe just now. You can talk about a name, the location, the atmosphere. Okay, you can talk about the attractions or facilities around the area, around the place. You can talk about the activities you can do at the place. Okay, you can talk about services. You can talk about price if you book a hotel or a resort. You can also talk about cleanliness. Okay, so there are many other things you can also include here. Historical history of the places, you mean? Yes, you can include the history of the places. For example, maybe the name of the place was actually derived from a history. Okay, that is also good for general background, for apa general information. Good. Okay. Um, do we have to pick which is which or review all of it? Does every review supposed to have 1 to 3 sentences? Okay, now you don't have to choose everything here. Okay, it is not necessary for you to choose everything. You choose what you like, because the question may ask what you like about the story. So for example, a movie just now, if you don't want to talk about the plot, it's okay. Okay, you just give a brief summary of the plot, and then you talk about something else. For example, you want to talk about the soundtrack. Okay, you can talk about the soundtrack. You want to talk about the actors. You want to talk about their acting. You want to talk about the characters in it. You can choose whatever you want to write in your review. Okay, don't write everything, because you need to actually elaborate them. Kita kena elaborate. Okay, don't just mention, okay, I love these characters because he is handsome, for example. That is not just the only analysis you have to include. You have to elaborate more. How this character affect you? How will this character affect the other readers or the other viewers? Okay, so you choose the things that you think are important for your review. Okay. All right. Okay. So these are the things that you can include. Okay. Now, when you want to actually describe those things, you need appropriate and suitable adjectives. So adjectives are very important for review writing. Okay, so here I gave you some of the adjectives. This one I took from a book written a module written by teacher Siti Akma. Okay, so she has listed all the adjectives for films, for movies, for books, for places. Okay, but here I don't have the adjectives for food. Okay, now here we have positive adjectives and also negative adjectives. Why do we have negative adjectives here? Because we want because in a review we can be negative also. We want, for example, we don't want to be extreme, but we can actually point out the weaknesses. Kita boleh tunjuk kelemahan sesuatu tempat ataupun benda tu, so that the owner, for example, can improve on that. Dia boleh buat penambahbaikan. Okay, so for example, for movies, okay, negative adjective like boring, dull, the story is unrealistic, it is disappointing, okay, it is predictable, it is violent, okay, it is distasteful, it is cliche, it's bland, it's ordinary, uninteresting, or dreadful. You can find more on negative adjectives for films or movies. Okay, but the positive one, okay, we have a lot. For example, like enjoyable, insightful, inspiring, powerful. Okay, and for books here, all right. And then we also have for places. Places, for example, kalau kita tengok negative, the negative adjectives, we can see boring, bleak, creepy, crowded, noisy, deserted, desolate, expensive, polluted. Maybe you want to talk about the surrounding area around the hotel is polluted. Okay, the rundown is ugly, dangerous, disappointing, and forgettable. So now don't be afraid to point out the negative things, because this might be useful for the owners, for example, to improve their service or improve their place. So that is actually, the review is not just for customers, the reviews can also be useful for the owners. Okay. Now, how many paragraphs in a review? Okay, if you want to write a review, basically you need to have around 4 to 5 paragraphs. Okay, one for introduction, of course, another one, the last one for conclusion, and the other 3 you can use, or the other 2 or 3 you can use for your body. Okay, so these are the adjectives that you can use to describe the things that you want to review. Okay, next one. Okay, so because we did look at the negative and positive, the positive and negative adjectives, kan? So when you write your analysis, okay, you can be either positive, you can be either negative. Remember, I said just now, because this review is not just for the customers, okay? The owners of the place might read your review and they can make improvements. Okay, so I will show you some sentences, and I want you to guess what type of review is this. Okay, so the first one here. So this side will be the positive side. Okay, this side will be the negative side. So now, based on these sentences, can you guess what type of review is this? What am I reviewing? Teacher review apa dekat sini? Okay, so I'll read the sentences. Try to guess, okay? So the first one, it was an exceptional performance by the actors. The music and lyrics support the plot very well. The movie was a smash hit in 1990s. Jackie Chan did very well as the main character in the movie. Okay, the negative side, the supporting actors were less convincing in some parts of the movie. The first 30 minutes were quite boring and had less action scenes. The viewers complained about the unexpected plot twist. So this is a negative one. Sometimes people love plot twist, but some people don't like it. Okay, I was not impressed with the special effects used in the movie. I was not impressed. Yes. Okay. Movie review. Okay, movie. Yes, you know already. Immediately, this is a movie review because you can see the word Jackie Chan here, or maybe you can see the word movie here. Okay, so this is actually sample sentences that you can use when you want to review a movie. Okay, so these are the positive things, the things that I like. These are the negative things, the things that I dislike. Okay, so we are not, for example, if you want to be negative, do not condemn the movie. Do not be too extreme. Okay, the negative things that you point out, okay, will be used for improvement. So basically, if you are actually writing this, you can add more. For example, you can say the actors um uh should learn how to be realistic in the movie. Okay, for example, okay, you give suggestion pula. Okay, that is a good elaboration. Okay, this is just sample sentences. Okay. All right. Teacher, your question. Wait. Where is your question? Usa, can you ask the question again, because I think I missed your question. Can we mix between positive and negative sentences? Yes. We can mix it, but you need to actually arrange the sentences accordingly. I will show you this later. Teacher akan tunjuk nanti. Okay? Right. I think Usa, you have to ask your question again because I think I missed it. Okay. All right. Now, let's move to the next one. Okay. Now, can you guess what review is this? What am I reviewing here? Okay, the positive side, the negative side. Okay, the positive one. The ambience of the place is charming and welcoming. The pastries were mouth-watering. The waiters were knowledgeable and made good recommendations. The price might be a bit expensive, but worth it. Okay, the negative sides. The place was dirty and crowded with people. I found the lasagna was rather bland. I was served the wrong meals and it was disappointing. The bill was outrageously expensive. So, what type of review is this? Okay, we have answers here. Restaurants, yes, good. Cafe review, restaurant review, yes, good. Yes, very good. Very good. Okay, very good. Yes. I can't really give bad reviews about the Jackie Chan movie because he risks his own life like to do the thrilling action. Yes, correct, Danny. I just saw your comment here. Yes. We can't really say negative things about Jackie Chan, right? He did all the stunts by himself. And I am amazed also. Okay. So this could be a review of a restaurant, a review of a cafe, or maybe a review of a place. Okay, because if you want, for example, holiday destination and then suddenly you want to talk about the food in the hotel pun, no problem, you can use these sentences. So these are positive and negative sides. So now somebody asks, well, can we actually mix it? Boleh, we can mix it. Okay, because now it's either like or dislike, kan? Okay, I will show this to you later. Okay, now when you want to combine the sentences, okay, you need to use useful phrases, okay, the transition phrases or the transition words, for example, okay, because in review, you need to give your opinion, okay. So here I have some useful phrases, for example, okay, this will be for the positive sides, okay, the things I like, the positive sides or the strengths, okay. If you want to mm, point out the positive things, okay, you can say the best thing about this is, okay, what is it? Okay. And then, or maybe one thing I liked the most was, because you want to talk about your experience first, I was pleasantly surprised by what? By the stunts done by Jackie Chan, for example. I was pleasantly surprised by the uh, services of the hotel workers, for example. Okay. I really enjoyed the food. Okay. Or maybe you can say you can relate to the viewers or customers. You don't want to talk about you. You want to relate this to your customers. Okay. The viewers or customers will be fascinated by what? Okay. Or maybe it was one of the best place I have ever been to, for example. Okay. It was one of the best food I have ever eaten. Okay. Or maybe you want to use this on the plus side. On the plus side means another good thing. Okay. Another good thing. Kita nak tambah satu lagi yang bagus. Okay. So these are the some of the sample, some of the useful phrases that you can use if you want to talk about the positive things or strengths of the thing that you are reviewing. You can find more online. You can look at your textbook. Your textbook also have these useful phrases. Okay. What about the negative sides? We have the positive sides here. What about the negative sides? Okay, if you want to be negative, if you want to point out the weaknesses, for example, okay, these are some of the sentences or phrases that you can use. Ini contoh-contoh ayat lah kalau kita nak point out kelemahan sesuatu tempat ataupun benda yang kita review. Okay, first, what I dislike the most was, ni memang, this is straightforward, say, I dislike this. Okay, or maybe you want to include your feeling, I was disappointed with what? I was disappointed with the soundtrack. It does not really support the story, for example. Okay. Maybe this one. The plot was boring, or the ending was boring and unexpectedly disappointing for me. Or maybe you want to say for the viewers. Boleh juga. Okay. I was not impressed with what? For example, you go to a place, you go to a cafe, for example. I was not impressed with the food because they are soggy. For example, they are soggy and they are not fresh. Okay, examples. The soundtrack doesn't melt. Okay. Yes, Usah, you really need to try this out. Okay. Okay, just now for positive side, we have on the plus side. But if you want to point out the negative side, you can say on the downside, salah satu keburukan dia. Okay. And then you mention what is the downside, what is the weakness. Okay. Or maybe you can just suggest, okay, something could be improved to better ones. For example, tadi you don't like the food. I was not impressed with the food because the food was not fresh and soggy, for example. I think the chefs or I think the recipes could be improved to better ones. You suggest for the owners to improve their recipe, to improve the surrounding of the place, okay? Or maybe you can say the readers will be devastated with the weak plot line. So uh, this one for books lah. Maybe if you want to say for movie, the viewers will be devastated with the weak plot line. So if you don't want to talk about plot, you can change the noun here, not plot line lah. Maybe the weak acting ke, okay? Right. So these are some of the sentences that you can use when you want to point out the weaknesses. Okay. Now, if you have other sentences that you think you want to know whether it is suitable or not, okay, you can put in the comment section. Okay, boleh letak dekat comment. I will look at the sentences and then we can discuss it together. Okay, because I just take some of it. Okay, if you search online, you can find more useful phrases. If you look in your textbook or any reference book for essay writing, they will provide more useful phrases for you. Okay, right. Next one. Okay, now remember these sentences. These are the sentences that we can use to actually review the restaurant or a cafe. Okay, now if we just write this in our review, this is not a good review. This is a review, but not a good review. Okay, because we do not relate it to the other readers. These are just our experience. These are just my experience at the restaurant or cafe. So now, using my experience, guna pengalaman teacher, how can actually I help the other readers to see whether they should go to to this restaurant or not? So it's not, remember I said review is not a story. If I just write this in the review, this will be just like a story because it is just like, my experience and I do not help the readers. So if you want to help the readers, you need to relate this to them. Okay, for example, for the positive side, okay, you say, okay, the pastries were mouth watering. So pastry tu sedap, mouth watering ni sedap sangat. Okay, okay. How does this sentence or this information will help the readers? How will this sentence help the readers? Okay. For example, maybe the readers, some of the readers are pastry lovers. So, they can go to this cafe and buy the pastries and taste them and try them. Okay. Or maybe you want to talk about here, the ambience of the place is charming and welcoming. So it's good for you, but what about the other readers? Macam mana dengan pembaca lain? What about the other customers? Okay, how will they look at the same atmosphere? Okay, how will this affect the other readers? Macam mana dia affect pembaca tu? Okay, if they go to this place, what can they do? For example, they can take pictures, they can have a very nice party, for example. Okay, the customers can go there to have party, the customers can go there to celebrate birthdays. Okay, so the review is not just about you. Okay, it's not just about us, but it's about the other readers who read your review. Okay, all right. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so that is the positive side. But what about the negative side? How can you help the readers by pointing out the negative or the weaknesses of the place? Macam mana kita nak tolong orang yang baca review kita ni dengan kita point out semua kelemahan dia? Okay, remember I did say just now, review is not just for customers. Review is also useful for the owners of the place. Okay, maybe when we say, for example, the place was dirty and crowded with people, we can give suggestion after this. I think, or I believe, the owner of the restaurant can improve the cleanliness by cleaning all the rubbish, okay, and so on. So you give suggestions. So that is also a good thing to write in a review. Okay, for example, all right, here, the bill was outrageously expensive. The price of the food is so expensive. Maksud dia, okay, it's so expensive. So you can say, okay, maybe this restaurant is not for people who want to save money. So you can say even though the food is good, but the bill was outrageously expensive. Dia terlampau mahal. So it is. I would not recommend this for people who want to save money. Contoh, okay. I want or maybe this place is not for people who wants to eat with large family member with many family members. Contoh, okay. So you try to relate these information with the readers. Okay, make them understand whether the place is good for them or not. Whether the movie, kalau movie review, if it's a movie review, whether the movie is good for them or not. So that is how your review will be more authentic. Okay, so I will show you the examples. Don't worry, I will show you the examples. Okay, here, I hope you can see this. So this is just one example. Okay, and I believe you can write better than this. Okay, right. For this is the body. Okay, I'm just going to talk about the food, the ambience of the cafe, and the price. So let's look at the first paragraph. Okay. Firstly, let's start with the food. So I want to comment about the food. Okay. Once I entered the cafe, I could smell the freshly baked pastries. So this is a positive side. Okay, the pastries are freshly baked. Okay. There were croissants with different flavors and my favorite cream puffs. So people will immediately imagine, okay, okay, there are so many types of pastries and they are freshly baked. So meaning that the food is good. Okay. They were mouth-watering. This is an adjective. They were mouth-watering and would definitely suit the pastry lovers' taste bud. So those who love pastries, they will definitely go to this cafe. Okay. However, this one is for students who ask whether we can mix positive and negative. Okay. However, because we are still talking about food, However, this is the negative side. I think the lasagna that my friend ordered was rather bland. So the pastries are good, but not the lasagna. So am I condemning the cafe? Teacher burukkan cafe tu ke? No. Jangan burukkan dia. Okay. We give suggestions to improve. For example, it would be better for the cook or for the chef to improve the recipe in the future. So the first part of this paragraph, okay, the first part of this paragraph is for the customers who love pastries. But next, the second part could be useful for the owner or the chef. So this is how you mix between positive and negative side in one paragraph. Of course, boleh you just put one paragraph positive side, another paragraph negative sides pun no problem. It is up to you on how you are going to arrange your ideas. Kita nak susun macam mana? Nak positif dulu then negative, or you want to mix everything? It is up to you. Okay, right. So the first paragraph, I talk only about food. Okay, the pastries are good, but not the lasagna. So improvements can be made. Okay, the next paragraph, I will talk about the ambience or the atmosphere of the cafe. Okay. Other than that, I really enjoy the ambience inside the cafe as it was charming and welcoming. Okay. The customers, you relate to the customers, not just you anymore. Okay. Not about you anymore because you have mentioned your experience. Now relate to the customers. Kita relate dengan pelanggan lain. The customers will definitely love to eat there and come again because they will enjoy the relaxing dining experience. Or maybe you can say, okay, the customers can also take pictures, take selfies because they have photo booth, something like that. You can elaborate more, okay, about the place. Okay, so the first thing is I talk about the atmosphere, but next I talk about the price. On the downside, the price might be a bit expensive for students, but they do not have to worry about it. Okay, so we are not just talking about us, we are talking about the other readers who are students. Okay, maybe the price is a bit expensive, mahal sikit untuk students kan, because freshly baked pastry, so sometimes it might be expensive, mahal. Okay, there is a special offer where students can get 10 ringgit off for every 30 ringgit purchase of food every Wednesday. We went there last Wednesday, so it was worthy. Because this person, I here is a student, so she went there during the offer day, okay, and it was worthy. So don't be afraid to be negative, uh, because when you point out the negative side, you can immediately uh, give suggestion on how to improve or suggest other ways for the customer. Macam ni, even though the price is expensive, but you can go on Wednesday because there is a special offer. Contohnya macam ni. Janganlah kita kata the price is expensive and we don't want people to go. Don't go there because it's expensive. No, we need to go there because the food is good, the pastries are good. So if you want to go there and you want to get special offer, go on Wednesday because you can get 10 ringgit off. Something macam tu. Because contohlah teacher bagi oral review when you go to a restaurant and then your friend asks about the restaurant. Okay. Uh and then you say, okay, it's a bit expensive, but don't worry, you can go there on weekends because they have special discount. Same as our oral review lah. Okay, so don't condemn the restaurant too much, but you give suggestion to improve, or you give a suggestion for the other customers to actually go there without actually experiencing the negative sides. Okay, relax, we have so many time. Am I talking too fast? Sorry. Teacher cakap laju sangat ke? Sorry. Okay, so these are two examples of paragraphs that I try to show you how we can actually review the place by pointing out the strengths and also weaknesses, the thing that you like and the things that you dislike. Okay. All right. So if you have any confusion, if you have any question, you can ask in the comment section. Okay. Right. So this is just about the things. Okay, you can elaborate more, of course. You can elaborate more and make sure you reach the 250 words, okay, by the end of the review. Okay. Next one, after you have finished the body, of course, you need to write your conclusion. Remember, conclusion is just the same as introduction. Don't write it too long. Make it short and brief. Okay. So basically, when you write a review for your conclusion, you will state your recommendation. Okay. You will state the recommendation, whether you recommend this place or not. Okay. And then you give reasons. Okay. Okay. Now, recommendation can also be positive, can also be negative. It can be both. Okay. Now, I will show you how we can actually show the readers the negative recommendation, meaning we do not want to recommend this. Okay. So the first part here, the first five examples will be the I would recommend it, the positive recommendation. Okay. Overall, I highly recommend this movie to all my friends. Okay, and then you give reason why, because they will definitely love the action scenes. Contoh, okay. Or maybe I would not hesitate to recommend this restaurant to my parents because they will love the food there. Okay. Or maybe you want to give ratings. You can give ratings if you want. I would give a 5-star rating for the restaurant because of their services. Okay. So you can give ratings also. Or you don't want to point to any specific or any particular groups you want to give, you want to recommend this to everyone or anyone, you can just say, I would recommend this theme park. For example, you make a review for theme park. Okay, I would recommend this for theme park for anyone because it is suitable for family activities. Contoh. Okay, then okay, if you are okay, this one you are going to read. You are going to relate this with your reader. Kita nak kaitkan dengan pembaca kita. So, for example, kita nak cakap pasal macam tadi pastry lovers tadi. If you are pastry lovers, or if you love pastries, then this cafe is for you. So this is actually, even though I didn't mention about recommendation, but it is actually a recommendation. Walaupun teacher tak mention perkataan recommendation dekat sini, but actually it is a recommendation. Okay, if you are, for example, okay, if you are Jackie Chan fans, then this movie is for you because you can see a lot of exciting action scenes. Okay, right. Should we write, I give 4 out of 10 rating? Yes, yes, yes. When you want to give ratings, it does not have to be 5 stars or 10 out of 10. It is your judgment. Okay, awak sendiri yang tahu. For example, okay, you like this movie, but something is wrong with this in this aspect. Contohnya, you like this movie, but you don't like the ending. Okay, I will give this movie a 4 out of 10 because I don't like the ending. However, the movie is still great. Okay. So kita boleh cakap walaupun the rating dia rendah, but the movie is still great. Okay. So these examples are for you to recommend to people. But for example, if you don't want to recommend it because maybe it's too bad or maybe there are too many weaknesses that you think need improvement, so you can just say, although I enjoyed it. Macam tadi 4 out of 10 tadi kan. Although I enjoyed the movie, I would not recommend it for kids because the actions and scripts were too vulgar. Okay, so it's not for kids, it's for adults only. Okay, or maybe although I enjoyed the place, I would not recommend it for uh, elderly or maybe for old people because the activities are too extreme, for example. Okay, so you can give reasons. Make sure if you don't want to recommend it, give reasons why. Okay, or maybe you can just say it might not suit those who, or it might not be suitable for those who are what. Okay, for example, we are reviewing a book. Okay, a book, uh, a novel, a very thick novel. Okay, although I enjoyed the novel, walaupun saya suka novel tu, it might not suit those who do not like to read worthy essays because the font are too small. Contoh, kita bagi examples. Kenapa kita tak recommend dekat dia? Why we don't recommend this book to the people? Okay, so these are the examples of sentences that we can use when we want to give recommendation. So remember, recommendation can be positive, can also be negative. Negative here means you don't want to recommend it. Okay, right. So that is about the recommendation. So I hope all the phrases that I have shown you, all the examples that I have shown you, uh, will be useful for your review writing later on. Okay, for your SPM and also for your revision because we still have some more time before the real SPM kan. So I hope this will be very helpful. Okay, now uh, because now we are done with the writing part. Okay, we are done with the examples of sentences and phrases. I want to go back to organization and language. Okay, now because I believe there is one question asking about how can we actually organize it, or how can we mix, for example, how can we mix the positive and negative ideas in one paragraph, for example. So you really need to use correct cohesive devices. So if, for example, you want to actually uh, write in paragraphs, the positive side in one paragraph, the negative side in one paragraph, okay, make sure you arrange it accordingly. Okay. And then we look on the language part a bit, okay? Some of the common errors made by students. Okay, now for cohesive devices, okay, these are examples of cohesive devices. So cohesive devices does not just involve conjunctions or sentence connectors. There are a lot of cohesive devices. Okay, for example, pronouns. Okay, cohesive devices ni kalau dalam in a simple language lah, in bahasa Melayu, kata ataupun perkataan yang kita guna untuk menyambungkan ayat, that is one, and also the words that we use to refer to something, because we do not want to repeat the same words again and again. Kita tak nak kita tak nak guna perkataan yang sama berulang-ulang kali. Contoh, for example, pronouns, kata ganti nama diri. Okay, these little words refer to a noun without having to repeat it. So if you mention about the cafe, okay, you don't write the cafe, the cafe, the cafe. You can write it, for example. You replace the noun with the pronoun. Okay, so this is one cohesive devices. And then we have preposition. Preposition for time, direction is actually to show the connection between the for example, the subject and also the rest of the sentence. Okay, preposition. For example, contoh saya bagi. Okay, I will go to school on Monday. On is a preposition. Okay, I will go to school on Monday. If, for example, we do not have on, sorry, I don't have the examples here. If we do not have on, we have to repeat again the sentence. Okay, I will go to school, full stop. I will go to school on Monday. So it's like a repetition. Okay, so we do not want to have repetition, so we use the preposition, okay, to show time, to show direction. Okay, and then conjunctions. Okay, this one is very common, you know this already, the connectors. Ellipsis. Okay, ellipsis here might be useful when you want to write dialogue. So this is not just for review, okay? Ellipsis means you omit, awak hilangkan terus, for example, one phrase because it is mentioned in the previous sentence. Contoh, when you write a dialogue, okay, the dialogue asks, for example, macam ayat tadi, when are you going to go to school? Okay, that is the question. And then the other character answer Monday. Okay, so dia omit the previous phrase. Dia tak mention dah pasal I will go to school on Monday. So the character will only say Monday. So people will know, oh, this person will go to school on Monday. So ellipsis is also a form of cohesive devices. Okay, and then adverbs. Adverbs ni, basically, I believe a lot of students love to do this. They use adverbs for their connectors. For example, fortunately, subsequently, unfortunately. Okay, so they use the adverbs to show, for example, to show order, to show contrast. Okay, so these are the cohesive devices. So if you want to make sure that your ideas are in a good flow, make sure you use correct cohesive devices. Okay, and then don't forget your paragraphs. Okay, so this is about the cohesive devices. Now, what about your language? Okay, these are the common mistakes done by students. Okay, common mistakes done by students, not just for review writing, for every type of essay. Sometimes it's a silly mistake, sometimes it's a careless mistake, sometimes it is a mistake because you don't know it. You don't remember it or you don't know it. Okay, so if you manage to avoid these mistakes, maybe your language will be the marks for your language will be better. So articles, for example, some students may have problems in using and. When will you use and for what type of word? The word the here. So uh, it's like, teacher, this is a silly mistake. Yes, a silly mistake, but still it is uh, done by the student. Okay. Then we have the wrong pronouns used. Some students still confuse. He, she, okay, she, her, hers, his, him. Okay. So make sure you know the pronouns very well, okay, and how to use it in sentences. Okay, and then subject verb agreement. This one is very common. Okay, the singular and plural verbs. If the subject is plural, how should you write the verb? Okay, if the uh, subject is singular, how can you write the verb? So these are some of the common mistakes that students do. Okay, and basically sometimes you do this again and again and again. So I think try now, because you still have like 1 month and a few days. Okay, so go back to your essays that are marked by your teachers. Okay, go back to your essays and look at your mistakes. Okay, look at your mistakes and make sure you understand why you are wrong there. Why is it a mistake? Ask your teacher. Okay. Yes, good, Rosama. For words start with a vowel word. Yes. Articles N ni. Ramai lagi yang salah ni sebenarnya. Okay. So please be careful. So look back at your mistakes. Okay. Because I believe instead of you writing a new essay with the same mistakes, why don't you improve your mistakes first on the same essay? Okay. And then you can see, okay, what are the mistakes that you can actually avoid. Okay. All right. So and last one, I think um, it's reaching to the end. Okay. Now, useful resources. Useful resources that you can actually go and search for review writing, not just for review writing, for any type of essay. Okay, so the websites here, these are good for your vocabulary, for your collocation, for your phrases and sentences. Okay, you can look at the dictionary.cambridge.org, or maybe thesaurus, or maybe English profile. So these websites are very useful. And if, for example, you really want to write a review, memang betul-betul nak tulis review untuk SPM nanti. Okay, other than reading sample essays, okay, we have a lot of reference book out there. Okay, give good sample essays, which is good. You can read the sample essays. Why don't you go online and try to search real online reviews? For example, book reviews. If you think you if you hope that the book review will come out in the exam and you want to write a book review, go for search for online book reviews, real book reviews, and look at how the writer write their reviews. If you want to write a review on about places like hotels or maybe shopping malls, okay, you can search for that. There are so many examples out there online, so use your internet wisely. Okay, use your time and internet wisely. And then you can also Google on more useful adjectives, but just now the one that I gave you, we don't have food adjective for food, right? So you can find adjectives for food and more useful phrases online. So you can search in YouTube, in Google. Okay, look for useful phrases that you can use for reviews. Okay, teacher, by getting rid of all those grammatical errors in the essay, will I be able to get 5 out of 5 for language component? Okay, it's not just language, it's not just about your grammar. Okay, grammar is one huge part of it. Okay, we also have the vocabulary, we also have the spelling part. So maybe in terms of grammar, you are okay, but if you have problems with vocabulary, meaning that maybe some of the words are, inappropriate, okay, it will affect your language mark also. And then looking at the sentence structures, maybe the spelling errors. So there are a lot of things in language, not just grammatical errors. Okay. That is why I show you this, because this will help you with your vocabulary. Okay. All right. Thank you, Yong, for your question. Okay. And my last slide. This is my last slide. Okay. My 5 golden reminders. Okay. How to write your essays better. Okay. So our focus is review today, and not just for review, for all types of essays from part 1 until part 3. Make sure to read the questions carefully and understand the task. Okay, this part will really help you for your content and your CA, communicative achievement. So you know what are the things that you can write and what are the things that you need to avoid, for example. Okay, and then the second one, use the appropriate format make sure you know, even though the format will not affect your marks at all pun, but the format will actually help you to get good marks for CA, for example, okay, and writing style. If the essay need to use formal tone, make sure you use formal tone. Okay. If, for example, you are writing a story, then you can use informal tone. Okay. Next one, develop your ideas and organize them accordingly. Okay. For example, like today review, we are doing review. It's not just about your experience, remember? You need to develop your ideas and relate to the other readers, the customers and the owners. Okay. And then develop ideas using appropriate words. Okay, the third one will be for your organization. Okay, fourth one might be useful for your language. Develop ideas using appropriate words. Guna perkataan-perkataan yang sesuai and also phrases. So because, for example, when we are writing a review, there are some phrases that we can use to review to analyze or to review a restaurant, to review a hotel. Okay, so make sure you know how to use them. And lastly, before you submit your paper, please check and recheck your spelling, punctuations, and grammatical errors. Sometimes you guys are good. I know you guys are very good in your writing, but spelling, punctuations could be your silly mistakes, and this will actually affect your language also. So please be very careful. Okay, take some time to check your essays before you submit your paper. Okay, so that is all from me. I hope everything that I share with you guys today will be very helpful for your SPM later on. And thank you so much for responding to my questions. Thank you so much for your answers, for your question, for your opinions. And I wish all the best to all of you. Okay. And I wish that you can write good essays for your English paper. Okay. So I'll give the session back to Puan Raihana. Thank you so much, guys. I love you.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, terima kasih saya ucapkan pada teacher Siti Atiqah di atas tips-tips yang telah diberikan. Okay, banyak tadi tiba saya rasa macam nak buat review juga. Dulu masa SPM tak ada review ni.
Tak ada.
Okay, now untuk SPM sekarang banyak macam-macam ada.
Tapi
Okay.
sebenarnya bila belajar pasal review ni, sebenarnya dia bantu juga macam even myself bila kita buat review dekat Shopee contohnya kan. Sebelum ni tulis simple-simple je, but when we know how to write a review, I'll try to write a better review for the things I buy.
Maksudnya complete lah content tu ada macam kita nak cakap barang tu okey ke tak okey, so dia ada guideline kan.
Yes.
Okay, so saya rasa student pun boleh guna, boleh practice lah buat review dekat your social media masing-masing kan, Facebook ke, IG ke kan, sebagai latihan. Okay, so terima kasih sekali lagi kepada semua pelajar-pelajar yang mengikuti, yang masih lagi setia, ada lebih kurang 170 lah, lebih kurang 170 orang yang masih bersama dengan kami untuk program MSU Smart Bahasa Inggeris edisi 2021. Okey. Last day untuk SPM 2020 kita bersama dengan ibu kepada teacher Atiqah. Now kita ambil anak pula. Okey, sama-sama hebat, So anda semua bertuahlah kerana telah diberi perkongsian yang menarik dan semoga bermanfaat untuk peperiksaan SPM akan datang. Okay, dan juga untuk saya ingatkan juga pada hari Rabu malam, adalah slot untuk Smart Mathematics. Okay, bagi yang telah mendaftar boleh alert lah, okay, sama ada kod lah dekat hari Rabu tu tak dapat lagi link ke apa ke, boleh WhatsApp saya, okay, di nombor 0179412404. Okay, jap saya tulis kat sini this is my number. Alright. Di komen di komen. Okay, so boleh teruskan bersama kami untuk subjek-subjek yang akan datang. Yang terdekat ni matematik dan juga sejarah lah. Okay, so itu saja untuk hari ini. Semoga anda semua mendapat A dalam bahasa Inggeris nanti. Okay, jumpa lagi. Bye, terima kasih cikgu. Okay, terima kasih semua. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.